Well Dan, thanks for chatting to us.
Yep.
On Barnoldswick Town TV. Start of a new season coming soon. But before we talk about that, talk about last season. Was it a positive outcome for your lads?
Yeah, we had a good season. Moving forward, finished in top half at table, which were really good. We had a bad start to the season, so moving forward, we finished in the 6th position out of 14 in East Lancs Division 1. Really happy with that. And another Morrison Cup win, a dramatic win on penalties, which were really good for all the lads. So yeah, moving forward, really happy.
And how many lads did you manage to get in the squad last season? How many were playing for you?
We probably, between both East Lancs teams, we probably have about over 40 players. But I mean, moving forward, we had probably around 18 through East Lancs first team, if you would. But moving forward, it's been really good with Matt Barnes. He's been breaking players through into the first team. When we had Teal Amos, he had over 30 appearances for the first team, which were fantastic, and hopefully long may that continue.
Yeah. How does that relationship work between you and the first team gaffer?
A lot of phone calls, very long phone calls. But yeah, he's a good man, and obviously works hard with Matt Cav. And moving forward, we hope that we can keep bringing these players through. Probably had around four to five of our players that broke through into the first team last season, and obviously Teal Amos being the core of that. But hopefully we can move forward and bring more and more young lads into the first team.
Yeah. So is that the plan? Is that the kind of pathway that you put together between yourself and the first team? That if any players are on the fringes, then you'll liaise with Matt and then move forward in that direction.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the aim of the game now for us. It's about getting lads breaking through from junior level all the way up to North West County's first team level. So that's what we want. That's what we'll break forward for. And hopefully we'll achieve more and more of it throughout the season.
Because I suppose when you got players like Teal Amos making it into the first team, and not just making it, but actually starting and playing games, it must act as inspiration for the lads in the reserves, saying, we can do it.
Yeah, of course. Well, obviously them seeing that happening, it obviously shows that the first team manager is willing to give them a chance. So if they've got that, and they've got that level there that they can break into, and hopefully they can see that it's going to be happening, and if they work hard through the East Lancs team, through the junior level, and then they can break through into that first team.
Yeah, and an excellent win in the Morrison Cup, not for the first time, but the second time.
Yeah, second time, 2 years in a row, so lads did really, really well. We had to go through 2 penalty shootouts, one in the semi-final and one in the final. The lads, that never die attitude, that's what got us over the line. We were 2-1 down through from the 15th minute all the way to the 91st minute. And then getting that last minute equaliser and then seeing it through on penalties were fantastic.
Yeah. And for people who don't follow Barnoldswick Town, what is the structure like in the reserves? Who do you play against, and where do you travel to?
Well, we play in the East Lancs Division 1. We mostly Burnley and Blackburn is where we travel to. We could go as far as Preston when we play a team called Canberra, but as moving forward, I think there's 1 or 2 new teams coming. I'm not exactly sure where they're located, but really we don't really have to travel that far, really, 40-50 mile round trips. That's about as far as we travel, really.
Yeah, and the age range of players who are coming and joining you guys?
Yeah, well, as soon as the lads go from 15 on to under 18s level, so when they're under 17s, under 18s, they come straight in training wheels. Yeah. So that's the sort of age group that we're looking to bring forward and through. All the lads that we've got with us are probably our oldest lads, probably 28, I think, but I think there's only 1 or 2 of them. So mostly our average age would probably be around 23, 24, but most of our lads are between the ages of 18 and 20. Yeah. So hopefully we can start bringing more and more lads through the junior section and get them playing into adult football, and hopefully getting into North West Counties football. Yeah,
because where your structures, like you're in the reserves, you're slap bang in the middle, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I suppose you're liaising with both Matt and then liaising with the under-18s manager as well, seeing who's going through in that direction.
Of course, yeah. So it is hard work, but we do have a good structure in the club now, and hopefully we want that to continue. We want it for Matt to keep giving these young lads a chance. We know that he's strengthening his squad and looking to have a big season in the North West Counties First Division, but hopefully he's going to give more and more young lads a chance, and it makes my job a little bit easier, because obviously if you see lads that are breaking through into the first team, obviously we're doing something right.
And the morale is there, isn't it?
Of course, yeah. There's 2 or 3 that will be training with Matt's lads through pre-season, and hopefully they'll get some time in pre-season friendlies, and hopefully moving forward get a place in the squad.
How does that work with you? Because I suppose we were chatting about it before. It can be slightly difficult, can't you, if you're getting a phone call on a Friday night saying, I need a few of your players, and you've already planned for that Saturday game. How does that work?
Last season and this season it will be a little bit easier when that happens, because we've now got the reserve side of the East Lancs team. So obviously I can pick through players through there, so it doesn't leave us short-handed. But me and Matt Barnes, we talk to each other really well through the week. I always know whereabouts he's going to be with his squad, and then if he needs 1 or 2, 3 or 4 players, then so be it. They'll go with him, and hopefully they'll get a bit of game time.
Yeah. And talking of your squad, is there any acquisitions, any new players coming into the fold this current season with the reserves?
Yeah, we started pre-season yesterday. We've brought in around 3 to 5 players. We know 1 or 2 that will go straight into the squad, hopefully, if they put the work in pre-season, but a few have got a lot to prove. So hopefully a big pre-season for them, and then they can break their way into the squad.
And how many lads have you got, fighting for a shirt this season? How many you're hoping?
There's a lot. Well, through both East Lancs teams, there's probably, we're looking at pre-season, there's going to be around 45 to 50. So there's going to be a lot of headaches between me and Pat Jones, my assistant manager. There's going to be a lot of headaches, but good headaches. That's the type of headaches that we want.
Yeah. And the coming season, is there any new teams coming into your league? Or is it pretty much same as?
The AGM's on Tuesday, so we will find that out then. I have heard on the grapevine that there's a couple of new teams joining. I'm not entirely sure if it's true or not, so all will be revealed on Tuesday.
Yeah. And as regards yourself, how long have you been in charge of the reserves?
I've been in charge of reserves since 2014. I started out managing a different side, and then we had a good couple of seasons there, and then that's when I got asked by the chairman at the time. He asked me to come over and try and bring more young lads, Barlick lads, through the reserves if that were possible. So we ended up taking all the lads off the books that were on the books at the time for the reserves, because they didn't have any Barnoldswick lads on.
Right.
And then we moved forward and brought all young lads through, and it's took time, but these past couple of seasons have been really successful, winning promotion into East Lancs Division 1 and a couple of Morrison Cup win back to back. It obviously shows that we are moving in the right direction.
With the local lads, it's so important for a community club like Barnoldswick to have local players playing. How's it been, and what's the recruitment been like from your point in trying to entice the local lads to come and play at Barnoldswick Town?
Well, first and foremost, we've got a beautiful pitch. They're probably the best pitch around, so that's always enticing for lads. But I mean, with the way that the club is run, it's a really good club throughout, with everything through the ground staff, through the tea ladies, through the management, the chairman, the secretary. It's a really good club to be involved with. Everyone cares about each other, and that's what we're trying to achieve. We're just trying to achieve a good club status, and hopefully success will come with it.
And of course, we were talking about the Billbase 25k. It'd be amazing for Barnoldswick Town, hopefully this week, to find out some good news. If we're successful, what would £25,000 mean for Barnoldswick Town? It'd
mean a lot. It would mean a lot. We'd be able to do the work that we need to do on the clubhouse. There's a lot that needs to be done around the upkeep of the ground. There is a lot of work, and that money will go a long way into helping what we're wanting to achieve. Moving forward, if we don't get it, we can still complete the work. It'll just take a lot longer. But we do have all of us that are involved within the club. We're all volunteers. No one gets paid, and that's how we work forward. So when it does come to pre-season time, and we see the ground staff that are out here doing the hard work, that's when we get our players coming down, and they all do the little bit. Whether they're going to get a paintbrush in their hand or they're going to get an hammer and chisel, whichever it'll be, they all come and do their little bit.
Well, Dan, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you this morning, and hopefully we'll stay in tune during the course of the season. All the best reserves.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve.